Hello everybody, so today I'm reviewing Muppets Most Wanted, the sequel to The Muppets from 2011. The first Muppets film was written by Nicholas Stalter and Jason Segel. Jason Segel also starred in it, and James Bobbin was the director of the first film as well, and he's the director here as well. I really enjoyed The Muppets because I collect a lot of Muppet stuff and things, and I've got all Muppet stuff in my room. I've also got the TV series and many of the films, and I really enjoyed all that stuff. Yeah, there's maybe some films that are sort of not as great, but there's always been fun moments to them, and The Muppets was just a really nice, fun return to what they had done before, and Jason Segel wrote an excellent script there, and just the whole film was loads of fun. The chemistry and everything worked really well, and it was just such a fun film that poked at things and was just really great, and I absolutely loved it. Muppets Most Wanted is incredibly disappointing, and it's very disheartening to say that, because I was really excited for this. Now, Muppets Most Wanted is a story of the Muppets are going on a grand tour. Ricky Gervais plays Dominic Bad Guy. Yes, that's her name. He is the baddie of the film, but he's taken them on this grand world tour around the world. But while they're on this grand world tour, a European jewel heist thief is lookalike. He's a lookalike of Kermit the Frog, and he pretty much steals Kermit, and now this guy is in that group, and they've got to sort of find out where Kermit has gone, and everyone's sort of not too sure about this guy. But I'm not going to go into spoiling this film today. I'm just going to talk about my things that I didn't like about it and things I did like about it, though. So, this stars Ricky Gervais as Dominic Bad Guy, Ty Burrell as Jean Perry, Napoleon, yes, he's a French guy in this, and Tina Fey as Nadja. Yes, she is Russian in this as well, so you've got the sort of generic French and Russian names there, and Tina Fey has gone up more as my crush. Yes, she's old enough to be my mum, but she is just a perfect woman and just looks incredible in this film as well, and is just so great. And yes, she is a big woman crush of mine, or crush, why do I say woman crush? Just a big crush of mine. She is perfect and old enough to be my mum, but let's go off that subject now. So, Muppets Most Wanted was a film that I was excited for when I first heard it was announced. I thought, okay, they're going to have exactly the same fun as the first film, but then when I heard that Jason Segel wasn't going to be in it, and then I heard that Ricky Gervais and Tina Fey were announced for it, I thought, okay, they're going to be coupling up, they're going to be like the two people going around with the Muppets and stuff, but it's very different from that. Ricky Gervais is going around with the Muppets, but Tina Fey is at a Russian prison with Kermit and stuff. Muppets Most Wanted just didn't have the charm that the first film had, and the songs that it does felt very forced. It felt unnecessary with many of the songs that it has. It has songs that just... there's one scene where a song will happen, and then all of a sudden it will go into the next scene, and then it will go straight into another song, and it just feels unnecessary and very forced. And just like I was saying, I went off subject there, the songs that just don't really fit or feel as enjoyable as the first film. With the Muppets, the first film, the songs were fun and felt right in their place and right for the scenes. And like that whole song in the first Muppets film, the Me Party song and all the other great songs, the first song of the film that starts is just so nice and everything. But in here, songs feel very forced, and it sort of tries to pick up on pop culture and music of today. And Muppets Most Wanted still has a good script at points, and it still pokes at many things that films do, and it pokes at like the first film in ways, and even the plot of the first film is told at one point. So if you're watching this and you haven't seen the first film, the plot is told to you at one point by Fozzie Bear, which is just it's fun and cool to just that they poke at all these things that they do. But it's just, it had heart. Yes, it has heart at its moments, but it just with the cameos as well, everything felt very forced with moments of this. Like, I didn't laugh as much at this film as I did. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really actually laugh at this film. I chuckled about 2 times at some little jokes. Like, there was one joke where they just made something about films and things, and there was like a spoof thing that was really cool at one point. The criminal thing of this film, though, that someone has already pointed out, Swedish Chef is so underused in this. With the first Muppets film, every Muppet had their sort of right amount of screen time and their right moments and stuff, and they were on screen for the good amount of times. But Muppets in this is Muppets Most Wanted, but you feel like the Muppets aren't as used as they could be, and there is more human factor to this film, which is a bit sad, really, when it's a Muppets movie, and they could have just done the right thing like they did with the first film, showing the right amount of screen time with the Muppets, but you just have Walter as even a bigger character. Walter was announced, like, was first introduced in the Muppets movie, in 2011 Muppets movie, the Muppets. I'm just babbling on here right now, but he has more screen time than the other Muppets in here, and it's just like, can't we just have more screen time with all these other Muppets that we've grown up to know from the TV shows and the movies, and not like, yes, I like Walter. I think he is a nice, good character, but it's just like, couldn't we just maybe pick up on these other characters that we've grown to know, really, and have more screen time with them? And it's just a bit sad, really, that you don't have as much screen time. The cameos as well feel really, really forced in here. The amount of cameos, I'm guessing it's just actors that really love the Muppets and wanted to be in this movie to show their love for it. But it's like, if you look at the first Muppets movie, yes, there was many, many cameos in there, but they felt like they were right to be there. I remember Sarah Silverman having a really, really short scene in The Muppets. She was just a waiter, and she just was there, and then she was gone the next minute. She was on screen for like 2 minutes, just like, okay, that was a really quick cameo. In here, they have really quick 1 minute cameos with people, and this also has people that were in deleted scenes in the first movie. Like Ricky Gervais was meant to be in the first movie, but he was deleted scene. Danny Trejo was meant to be is it Trejo? He was meant to be, well, anyway, he was meant to be in the first film, but then he was in a deleted scene in a prison bit, but he actually gets like a proper thing in here. Ray Liotta is also in here. There's just, those are like many, many weird cameos in here, but that's just the only cameos I'm going to speak about. I'm not going to spoil anything more. But Muppets Most Wanted gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I have been thinking about this for a little bit. It was sort of on an 8 out of 10 at one point, but then when I think about it more, it just didn't feel as good as it could have been. And to be honest, it felt very bland and boring to me. Yes, it has its fun moments, but I was sat in the cinema thinking, how is this going to end? When is this going to end? Like, with the first Muppets film, I didn't want it to end because I was having so much fun. Watching this, I was incredibly bored and wanted it to sort of end. Yes, the cast had fun, and you could tell they're having fun with this, and you can tell they're having fun with the Muppets, and they wanted to make a really fun Muppet movie, but it just doesn't have the charm that the first film had. And that's the really disappointing thing about Muppets Most Wanted, that when it wants to have heart, it does have heart, but it just doesn't feel as good as the first film does, and felt really forced. It's got its good comedy in there at moments as well, and it knows exactly what it's doing, but it just didn't feel as good as it could have been, and they could have done something even greater with this story. It feels like stuff that we've really seen before, and really just not very fresh to me. The first Muppets film felt fresh to me, with its really nice ideas, with the musical numbers, and how everyone did, and it was very funny, appealed to adults and kids. Yes, this sequel does appeal to adults and kids again, but it had more jokes for adults in the Muppets. This time, it feels like it wanted to be more serious, though, as well, but still wanted to be a comedy, but it doesn't feel as much comedy as I was hoping it to be, and I didn't get as many laughs as I was hoping. So Muppets Most Wanted, like I've said, gets a 7 out of 10 from me. It does have its heart, but it's just not as charming as the first film, and it needed to have more screen time with Muppets as well, because there's more a human factor than Muppets, and Swedish Chef, like I've said, is so underused, and that is a very bad thing. So if you've seen Muppets Most Wanted, say down in the comments down below if you enjoyed it, or if you are going to see it, are you excited for it? I say still go and see it. If you're a Muppets fan, still go and see it. I'm a Muppets fan, and I still went and saw it. But I was thinking in my head, really, would I want to watch this a second time? I want to think about it. Maybe if friends wanted to watch it, I would watch it. But when it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray, it's not going to be something that I'm going to head out and buy straight away. Like I did with the Muppets, I headed out as soon as this came out, bought it straight away, and watched it a second time. And I've watched it probably about 5 times now, because I do enjoy it a lot. But it's sad that this is a Muppets film, but it didn't have as much Muppet screen time as there should have been. I'm babbling on now, though, but I shall see you all again very, very soon. I hope you enjoyed this review. Stay on there if you did or whatever. Thank you very much. Goodbye.